7 national conventions, 3 New Hampshire primaries, and the list goes on and on.
My photographer and I ended up staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Being on the air at 2 in the morning, reporting back on returns.
I've interviewed Hillary Clinton one-on-one.
We hosted a town hall with President Bill Clinton.
A California town hall meeting with President Clinton.
The president came and he answered questions, and KCRA was at the forefront of that. We hosted this entire town hall for Northern California.
Welcome to what should be an exciting, informative, and enlightening 90 minutes of live television.
And KCRA was the epicenter of the political coverage of what was happening at that time.
First of all, let me thank all of you for being here tonight.
It was seen all over California. We partnered with NBC stations in San Diego and Los Angeles and San Francisco and here. We hosted the President of the United States in this building.
Bill Clinton was just one of many presidents we've covered in Sacramento.
The next President of the United States, Senator John F. Kennedy.
John F. Kennedy, running for president, stopped in Sacramento, and KCRA's cameras were there.
Thank you.
As they were when Charles Manson follower Squeaky Fromme tried to assassinate President Ford right in front of the state capitol.
I just want to tell the incoming governor that I want to give him all the cooperation that I possibly can.
When it comes to California politics, there has always been an interesting cast of characters. From one actor who was elected governor and who went on to become president.
Good morning.
To another movie star who would make his own mark on California's political scene.
I have never covered a political story like the recall of Gray Davis and the election of Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was chaotic, it was unpredictable, it was so much fun to cover because you didn't know what was going to happen. I went down to Los Angeles in 2003 when Arnold Schwarzenegger was scheduled to be on The Tonight Show.
The taping of that Tonight Show may have been closed to reporters, but we had an inside source that put KCRA ahead of the other stations.
So I had a friend in the control room there at the NBC Bureau, and I called her cell phone. And she held her cell phone up to the speaker as they were taping. So I'm standing out in front where all the cameras and all the live trucks are there in Burbank, and I'm listening at about 4:45 when I hear Arnold utter the words,
I'm going to run for governor of the state of California.
Yes, he's going to run for governor of California, which gave me a little bit of a jump start on the others because other people had to wait until a news conference after the fact.
I think one of the biggest highlights for me was a small moment when I was chasing Newt Gingrich, who was running for the Republican presidential nomination in South Carolina.
Mr. Speaker, how much of a comeback is this for you? Well, huge.
I caught up to him and I asked him a question, and he turned to me and he said, wow, you've done your homework. And that was one of the biggest compliments that I've ever gotten, because politicians normally don't give out compliments to reporters.
I just remember specifically in November of 2008, election night, just the historical importance of it all, and still being in the background, covering it and watching it all unfold.
We are and always will be the United States of America.
Watching history being made that night was really, really something to see.
KCRA was at the forefront of political coverage again when we co-hosted a debate between business executive Meg Whitman and then Attorney General Jerry Brown, who was back trying to regain the job he had held decades earlier.
When KCRA held a debate in 2010 between him and Meg Whitman, I asked him,
the last time you were governor, you ran for president twice, the first time within 2 years of taking office. What assurances can you offer voters that this time around, should you be elected, you would focus on this job?
Age. Hell, if I was younger, you know I'd be running again. But I'd say at 74, whatever it's going to be in a couple of years, I'm ready. One more thing, I now have a wife, and I come home at night. I don't try to close down the bars of Sacramento like I used to do when I was governor of California.
Our live broadcast aired in every city across California and was seen by more than 2.5 million people. It's the kind of commitment that's sometimes made for some very late election nights.
The boxer race was really close, like very close, too close to call. No one would call it. And I think we were the only people left in the Fairmont, waiting outside her room, waiting for her to come out. And you know, she's so tiny, and I'm short too. And she's actually shorter than I am. But that one really stands out because that was like, we're not leaving, you know, we're gonna stick it out. And it was history, you know, political history, because we have a long tradition of politics.
It's over, we've done it, I love it.
From the days of pegboards and black and white live coverage and new ways to transmit information.
Watch the lower third of your screen because that's where we'll have our election results posted for you tonight.
To the tiny screen you now hold in your hand, KCRA has been riding waves of innovation.
Our Brian Heap is live in the KCRA 3 Buzz Room.
In all of our political coverage.